All right, welcome back. Let's continue with more news at this hour. Easter Sunday is a religious Christian holiday that is observed globally to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Our reporter, Abongile Dumako, is at the International Pentecostal Holiness Church in Zuurbekom in Gauteng. And we're going to get an update from him now on this Easter Sunday. Abo, good afternoon. Perhaps you could talk to us as to what's happening. Has the Sunday service started yet? Who all is in attendance?
Good afternoon, Lizel. Hive of activity certainly here at the IPHC headquarters south of Gauteng. As we might have heard, this church is quite rich in history. We just learned that it was established in 1962 in September. Years and years of history being built here. Today, what's special about today is the fact that about 79 couples are getting married in this very church this afternoon. That is one of the reasons why we had to come here and witness as the SABC this festivity. We are told actually this does happen quite often here at the IPHC church. And certainly another reason why we decided to come here as the public broadcaster was to actually witness ANC leaders from not only in Gauteng but from the national office and of course across the country having been crisscrossing different churches during this Easter period. And of course IPHC, not an exception. This is why we find the first Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, Nomvula, Mokonyane. She joins us now to tell us about some of the reasons why they decided to come here. Mama, thank you so much. You've been referred to as Mama Action quite often by one of the leaders here at the church. There must be that long relationship between not only yourself but the ANC and Gauteng government and the IPHC.
Yes, blessed Easter to you and the viewers. There's a rich history, a history that predates the dawn of democracy. When IPHC was in Meadowlands in Soweto, and their support and solidarity for the release of President Nelson Mandela, they were fully behind those kind of programs. They prayed, they contributed in signing of petitions, and also being here, as you have heard, the development of the youth center here, the development of this precinct. It was part of the development of tourism sites in Gauteng, and hence you see the infrastructure coming here as well as the signage, because indeed this is a tourist site. Besides just this day, every now and then you've got international tourists who come and want to see this African church that is located here in Zuurbekom. Of course, this is Easter, it's a Holy Week. We coming here to join the masses of Christians in our country that are celebrating the rising of Christ and doing many other celebratory things. And here it's the mass weddings that are taking place and the word about the value of marriage.
And of course, Mam Nomvula, the ANC, we've seen, even today, I know that the president himself of the ANC is in Limpopo at Moria. You were in the Eastern Cape, Ian Batman, that's my society, by the way. I've seen your second Deputy Secretary General in Queenstown. All of you guys are like all over the country. Why now? Are we already in electioneering?
You know, we just came out of a lockdown because of COVID. 2 years in succession, churches could not actually celebrate Easter weekends. So some people who don't know the culture of the ANC will think we're doing this because of the elections. But this is the culture of the ANC, the religious pilgrimage that we do without actually coming in for elections and asking to be voted for. We come to ask for prayers. We come to present ourselves also and support those that believe in the Christian faith. So it goes beyond just the issues of elections. We are forever with those who congregate during this particular period, as we do also with the Muslim and other faiths when they celebrate, we always identify with them. And of course, there's also a reality that we've taken a decision that our heritage program must go beyond just political heritage, but it must also include reconnecting the ANC and renewing our relationship with the church.
Let's change gears then a bit, Mokonyane. The SABC, I'm not being biased because I work for the public broadcaster, but it's been months now without the board. There's been legal vows taking place, yet the board is not appointed. An area of concern for civil society and all the stakeholders. What's the ANC's views in as far as the delay in appointing the board of the SABC is concerned?
We all share the concerns of the delays and the complications that have arisen. They are unfortunate. We hope that Parliament will then heed the advice that they have been given, and let's have stability and have the board of the SABC functioning. It is not in our space unless you want us again to be accused of political interference with the public broadcast. We share what the public is concerned about. The SABC does need stable leadership.
Certainly, there's an issue that is actually of importance at the moment that is spoken about by everyone throughout the country, the issue of Thabo Bester. He was nabbed in Tanzania yesterday or the day before yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. But there's been a growing criticism on the ANC-led government that, guys, you dropped the ball in as far as this whole escape of Thabo Bester and, of course, now having been arrested in Zambia. What's the ANC's take on what we see happen around the fact that there's this challenge, if you like, regarding Thabo Bester?
Just like any self-respecting South African, this incident is just an incident that requires a lot of investigation, a lot of information that must be gathered, because from the look of things and what is out there in the media, there are too many players involved in it, and those that are implicated must actually be made to account. We must appreciate the work that has been done by the South African authorities working together with Interpol, that they finally were able to nab him, and we hope that even him and those that are involved, the accomplices, will actually explain. One of the things that is a problem, it's a private correctional service institution that has also defied Parliament, refused to appear before Parliament. We hope that they will be summoned by the Speaker, because this actually undermines the authority of our criminal justice system. It's been an embarrassment, it's an indictment, and it begs all of us to really make an appeal and say, what exactly are we dealing with? I think it's something that no one ever expected to hear.
There you go. Well, Mokonyane, she's the first Deputy Secretary General of the ANC. She's right here at the IPHC headquarters. As you know, it's about 79 couples that are getting married here today. She's here to witness that. She's actually part of the initiative that we've seen being done or conducted by the ANC leaders who have been crisscrossing the country, of course, during this Easter weekend, saying that it's an embarrassment, it's an indictment, the issue that has to do with Thabo Bester having had to be arrested in Tanzania. And of course, she says that this needs to be looked in a different eye in as far as our systems are concerned. And of course, she did touch base on the issue of the SABC board, saying that without having to interfere politically on issues that affect the public broadcaster, but it is indeed quite an urgent thing that needs to be attended to, so we can have a board as the SABC. Lizel, back to you in Auckland Park.
Thank you very much, Abongile Dumako. Really just giving us some good news on this Easter Sunday. Perhaps, as you mentioned, 79 couples getting married today at the IPHC. Filled with history, again, also chatting to Nomvula Mokonyane about her being in attendance, perhaps also looking at the ANC at large, crisscrossing around the country. This as we unofficially head into campaign season ahead of the elections come 2024 and beyond. So